of the Board of Selectmen. And note that I am recording this meeting. It is being recorded both audio and visual recordings. I'd like to make note that all three selectmen are present and begin with the approval of minutes. I'll make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from August 4th, 2020.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any discussion on the minutes?
Nope, they look good to me.
No discussion. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the Board of Selectmen minutes from meeting minutes from August 4th, 2020, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I'll make a motion that we accept the Board of Selectmen's special meeting minutes from August 12th, 2020.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on these minutes?
Nope.
Hearing none, all in favor of approving the Board of Selectmen's special meeting minutes from August 12th, 2020, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and I do not have any correspondence. Ken or Suzanne, do you have any correspondence?
I do not.
I do not either.
Move on to agenda item 3, selectmen comments. Any comments from our selectmen?
Let's see. Since our last meeting, of course, we had the lovely power outage. I'm glad that it got a lot of publicity on TV, and that people were not happy with the response of Eversource. Hopefully, between Governor and Pura, they will get to the bottom of it. I understand the severity of the storm. You know, you got to deal with comes down, you know, as the trees, and that's one thing. But this is an ongoing issue that, you know, over the years, it's always no communication with Eversource. You don't know if there's a truck in, truck out. They just don't communicate. And for us, you know, I've always been a proponent. They said they had 450 crews out there at the beginning of the storm. We only got 169 towns. Put a line crew in each town so we can open roads and do what we need to do. It's not asking a lot. I understand, you know, that, you know, the severity of the storm, you got to get pole setters and everything else, but just opening the roads itself, because our highway crew does a fantastic job, and they're hindered when they can't go up. So hopefully with this, something could come and push this accordingly, that communications and, you know, getting at least one truck in town, you know, for this can make life a lot easier for everybody.
There you go.
Suzanne?
Yes, I just wanted to commend the DPW for the job that they did. I think that they went above and beyond and started cleaning up trees immediately. I was very impressed with them. So thank you to them. That was my comment.
And on that note, I noticed that Steve Benoit just came in. Even though it's selectmen's comments, Steve, is there something that you wanted to share about the storm and maybe the MREs that you handed out, et cetera? It was on my list of things to talk about.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the fire departments, DPW, everybody at Town Hall for working through this with us. It was a tough week, and I don't think it's quite done yet because we keep getting power outages every night. And I'm gonna call James tomorrow because up on 193 where they had the transformer issue, they thought, it also took down the street light.
Oh.
And nobody could find it anywhere. So
The street light?
Repaired. Excuse me?
They couldn't find the street light?
No, the arm or anything was all gone.
Oh my
Because the guy
goodness.
that lives there went out and looked for it.
And you know, really, Steve, you were thanking DPW, et cetera, but you did a lot. You did a lot to help our community, and I really commend you, and I thank you for your service to this town. Steve single-handedly handed out MREs and bottled water to people. He tried to stay on top of people that have, you know, disabilities and special needs. And you really do a phenomenal job, Steve, and you do it all by volunteer. And we're really grateful and thankful to have you.
Oh, thank you. But, you know, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that really help out. And, you know, I appreciate everybody that helps. I mean, it's not
And
easy.
you're one of them too, though. You're one of them too. So
Yeah.
you just need to be
Yeah.
acknowledged.
Can
I gotta change my name here.
I did not mean to overlook you. I so much appreciate your posts on Facebook and updates. And I think everybody appreciates that. That and the DPW do a great job with that as well. And yeah, thank you so much for your hard work. It's a volunteer job, and I don't think most people recognize that you're the one behind the scenes doing the work that you do. So thank you. Communicating, I know you do. You're like communicating with the liaison from not Eversource, but yeah, Eversource.
Eversource, yeah.
Eversource, yeah. I work in Mass, so I get them confused. But yeah, so thank you so much.
You're welcome. And, you know, like I said, it's important to keep everybody in town informed of what's going on, instead of just feeling like we're left out in the dark and nobody's helping us. That's why I post that all on Facebook and try to keep it updated as best I can. And
I
yeah.
I think just overall, Pure has come up with, I mean, their basic comment on the whole storm was that Eversource underestimated the threat. I don't think they thought it was going to be as big. And the truth is, I was driving on a delivery into Stafford Springs on Saturday, and the damage there was still evident. So much worse than what we had here. And I don't think we completely can comprehend what maybe other parts of the state also, how they were affected. And I think I was talking to Rich about it today or yesterday, and he and I agreed that it could have been much worse for Thompson. And as bad as it was, it could have been worse. And I saw that evidence in Stafford Springs, just driving through the back roads of Stafford Springs. And I thought, wow, it was still really evident. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it around, and it's just the fact that really got to me every time I called them.
Yeah.
Everybody said, oh, I don't know. Nobody knows.
Right.
Well, somebody at Eversource way up top must know something where the trucks are, because they don't just disappear.
So hopefully they'll do better.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But again, it comes down to communications with Eversource. And, you know, Steve goes through the frustrations when he can't get a straight answer. And you may not like the answer that you get from them, that truck will be delayed, whatever it may be, but give some answers so that way we, you know, Steve and, you know, DPW and everybody that's working on the cleanup can, you know, relay that information, and that we don't appear to be, you know, just forgotten and, you know, with the whole thing. And this all goes back, like I said, over several years, and Steve knows that because he's fought that battle many times over, trying to get the communications. And it just, they do good briefly, and then it goes bad again.
Yeah.
And they also said that they admit they didn't predict the storm right, but they kind of passed the buck onto Yukon, because that's where they got their program to predict the weather. And I told them, I said, you can't pass the buck. You know, we knew this was coming. They always try to find somebody else to dump it on, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is, I think, Steve, you said 86 families took advantage of the MREs and the bottled water. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Some good.
450 meals out of the 512 we got.
Awesome.
Wow.
So moving on, during our special meeting, the board had decided to offer the position of animal control officer to an individual, and I'm happy to say that she has signed her employment agreement. Her name is Janice Smith, and she'll be beginning work next week. In the meantime, we're starting a list of items that we're going to need to get the dog kennel fully operational. And hopefully we'll be able to enlist some donations and some volunteers to get the program back up and running. Additionally, I had Rich send me a list of things that are going on at the Public Works Department. I thought it was important for the board to get an update on things. And this is what he sent to me, and I'm just going to read it verbatim. Last Wednesday, we ground up or took up the road at Colonial Ave and approximately 300 feet of Babula Road near Sandam Road. We raised the grade on Colonial Ave to fix a drainage issue. It was a drainage issue where water would pool, and even in the winter, it would turn into a big ice skating rink right on Colonial Ave. So they fixed the drainage issue and they paved that road today. We replaced an improperly installed culvert pipe on Babula Road and will be grading and reshaping the section of road before paving. We have some prep work to do next week on Liberty Lane and the end of Porter Plain Road before we grind that next Friday. We'll have about a week or so to complete work on that project before the grinder comes back to Sunset Hill Road. This will bring us into the mid-October before all scheduled work is completed. We are handling most of the paving ourselves with the exception of Sunset Hill Road. In between road work, we still have storm cleanup that we have to finish. We're still mowing parks and cemeteries, and we will have bridge repairs to handle shortly. I'm hoping to be completed with all project work by November 1st. At that time, we need to prep everything for winter work and spend some time catching up on tree issues. And the tree issues are a lot of the dead trees in the area. So that is the report from Rich. He couldn't join us tonight. He had a previous engagement, but he sent that over to me. And that is all I have for selectmen comments.
Amy, can I noticed that the appointment of the ACO is not on the agenda. Is that something that we need to add to the agenda?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Do you want to make a motion to?
I will make a motion that we add the ACO, appointment of the ACO under other.
Other
Second.
business? And Ken seconds. Any discussion? All in favor of adding the appointment and hiring of the new ACO to other business, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, so we'll add that to other business. Any other selectmen comments?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right, so we will move on to agenda item 4, citizen comments. Any of the citizens, feel free to unmute yourself, or you could type something into the chat box if you have any comments to make. Just gonna wait a couple minutes. And hearing and seeing no comments, I will move on to agenda item 5. Community Fire Department. To whom it may concern, the Community Fire Company is requesting permission to hold our semi-annual boot drive at the town transfer station on August 22nd, 2020 during the hours of 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. If there are any questions or concerns, please contact Rocco Navarro, and then he gives his phone number.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the boot drive to be held at the transfer station this Saturday by Community Fire Company. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that motion passes. Okay. Agenda item 6, transfer station fees, discussion and possible action. This was brought to my attention by Lynn Landry and Rainey Morin. So I want to kind of give you some background. The budget itself is listing revenue for transfer station revenue at 200,000. This year we're coming up short, and it's anticipated that next year we're going to come up short. That's part of the motivation behind what I'm going to suggest is an increase in the transfer station fees to help cover increasing costs of having the trash taken away, and to hopefully meet the objective of revenue that's being proposed in the budget. So my thought process is what I'd like to do is increase the regular single household trash fee, single family household trash fee from $100 to $125. My proposal is also to keep the senior fees exactly as they are with no increase in rate. The half-year fee for a regular household, I would request that, I'm going to suggest that we increase that to $75. It was $60, and keep the senior half-year rate at the $35 fee. So we don't want to change anything for people that are on fixed incomes. Additionally, a couple years back, we had voted to add $5 fee for a replacement sticker. And on the request of Rainey Morin and Lynn, who deal with customers every day having to get a replacement sticker, and they're arguably very upset about it, they've requested of me that I suggest to the board that we eliminate that $5 fee, which I would be in favor of. So that would mean eliminating the $5 replacement fee, increasing the transfer station fee by $25, leaving the senior fee for the full year rate alone, increasing the half year rate by $15 to $75, and leaving the senior fee at $35. That is what I'm suggesting. And after looking at a few of the other towns in the area, I think it only makes sense. We're still the lowest priced town. If you were to get a company to come and take your trash away, you're going to be paying 4 to 5 times that amount every year. Woodstock charges for a single household permit $180, and their seniors pay $90 for the full year. Killingly is only $80, but they pay $5 to put stickers on all of their bags. Pomfret uses, has 50 permits available to them from Woodstock at $230 per year. Or you can go to Brooklyn and you just pay for bags at $11 for 5 bags. So that's my rationing behind it. I still think it's a really great deal for our town residents, but it'll help defray the costs, the increasing costs, things like the roll-off truck that we still haven't been able to replace, that's constantly breaking down. Just the cost to have the recyclables and the waste taken away, it's increasing constantly, it's fluctuating all the time, never for the better. And that's my reasoning, and that's what I wanted to bring to the board today and have a discussion. So it's open for discussion.
Did usually the transfer committee meets? Have they met recently? I don't know because of COVID.
They're
Not
meeting.
since January.
They're meeting next week. So ideally, if we wanted to wait, and I mean they know about it. If we wanted to wait and confer with them, ideally Rainey would need an answer by our September 1st meeting, so that he could move forward with ordering the stickers, ordering the brochures, etc.
No, I didn't know this. I was wondering what their input was, because we usually look at that. And what are our bulky waste costs? Have they gone up where when they go over the scale that we need to make an adjustment there?
That, I don't have the brochure and I don't have that answer about bulky.
Yeah, I mean, if we had figured it at whatever, $100 a ton to get rid of it, and it's up to 120, usually we compensate and raise those, you know, for the bulky waste where they go over for those specialty items.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the same thing with the cost of the recycling. Some of those things, you know, air conditioners, some of those different products. So that's why I was asking if some of the costs, you know, for the revenue isn't coming in to make, is because those costs have changed. And, you know, so we're behind. And I would have to think that we're probably behind in the, you know, not so much April, but these half-year permits because of COVID-19. We probably lost quite a few coming in because people haven't been able to move around either.
Right.
And Ken, I think you bring up a good point with the bulky waste. I think we need a written definition of what bulky waste is as well, to educate people as to, you know, household trash versus bulky waste. I myself have run into that where I've been charged additional for bags of household trash. But I agree with looking at what we're charging and possibly looking at increasing that. I think that's a good point. But I definitely agree with Amy that we should look at increasing
Just
the
to get us
cost.
in line with inflation and the cost of
Well, I
everything.
just think that it's a really good deal now for $100 to be able to, you know, that's less than, you know, $2 a week. And it isn't in a line with the other towns around us, but also if you had to bring in a private company to take your trash away, it's going to cost you, like you said, 4 or 5 times more. So I understand it is a committee that gets together twice a year, but I'm not sure that that's something that we have to wait for to make this decision. I think also this was a topic at a Board of Finance meeting during budget season too. And that was discussed with the possibility of could we possibly increase the amount for the year? For the
Do we have a breakdown on, I don't know if Rainey, I didn't see it here, for second stickers? Remember that was a discussion, Amy,
The second stickers.
that we had a couple of years ago?
Oh, let me see. Second.
Is that part of the attachment?
That it went up to $100 and you only got the one
$15.
sticker and you had to pay for the second sticker.
Right. We have not, they didn't give me the breakdown on that. And that wasn't in the proposed changes. We were going to keep the second sticker as it was. But I don't have it in the breakdown here that they provided for me.
You know, I was curious about that, you know, for the difference in the revenue on that. Because before with the old permit, whatever you want to call it, it was 2 stickers for, I don't know, $85, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then we had separated it out. And I'm just trying to be as creative as possible, but yet still make adjustments that, you know, if you've got enough of the second stickers or there isn't that many, that maybe we just go back to the 1 1/4 with 2 stickers and, you know, and factors something like that in. So that's why I was looking for those numbers.
Well, like I said, I mean, ideally, as long as we have this approved by September 1st, I'm okay with not taking any action tonight and bringing these questions to the Transfer Station Advisory Committee. They'll meet next Thursday. I think it's the 26th is their meeting.
Yeah.
And we can just find those things out, and that way we make an informed decision before increasing the rates.
Yeah, I mean, if we can, because we did get a lot of flack with that, you know, charging for the second sticker, you took a sticker away. Why don't you just make it one flat fee across the board? You remember all of that, Amy.
Right.
We talked about that quite a bit.
I would still, honestly, they have not, Rainey and Lynn and Scott deal with this all the time. They did not say that that was a point of contention whatsoever. That was not in their suggestions. It was only that replacement sticker. Someone goes and buys a new car, they need to replace their sticker because they have a new car. They can clearly identify that they have a new car, but it's still costing them $5. They did not make it evident to me that people had a problem paying the $15. And I would personally suggest keeping that, but that's just me.
Well, that'd be a question that I would pose to them.
Yeah.
Maybe the people have gotten used to it now and they're okay with it, but it was,
Right.
We had all of those concerns back when we made those changes.
So currently we give 1 sticker
For $100.
for $100. So people might not have as hard a time you know, with the increase if we were doing 2 stickers, and then there is no additional charge if they lose one or whatever. I mean, it may be it may be just a simple extra sticker and it doesn't cause as much controversy.
Let's
Yeah.
see how much revenue we've actually brought in doing the second sticker. I think that would,
I thought that was on the documentation that we got.
no, I don't see the
No,
second,
replacements were 186.
right,
Right.
It didn't say anything about.
at
a second
$930, yeah. So. If
Well-
we were to increase to the 125, it would bring in based on the number of full year stickers that we've sold, it would bring in an additional almost $30,000 to the transfer station. In the half year would bring in approximately 1,000, less than 1,000. So still quite a deal.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I don't disagree.
So are we in agreement that we'll just not make any take no action tonight, and we'll just talk to the Transfer Station Advisory Committee, get the extra information on that second sticker, and that way we can make a more informed decision?
I'm okay with that.
I'm good
That
with it too.
That works for you, Ken? Okay.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we will take no action. We will move on. To agenda item 7, open bids for the auditor. We do not have any bids. We had
Not
hoped some might
surprising.
come in,
That's
but
a problem.
yes, it is.
It's not surprising with COVID and everything that went on.
Well, the real problem is that the audit wasn't filed with the state, so they had nothing to look at, nothing to base their bid on. So that's where the problem existed.
So Amy, what do we do at this point? Do we put this back out to bid?
It will be something, we have put it back out to
Okay.
bid. We've extended it. I've called CCM to get a list of some audit firms, and I kind of thought I'd make some calls.
And the audit has been filed
Yes,
for
Yeah.
2019.
right, and you've received your packet.
Yes.
Yes. So, and Bloom Shapiro will be at the Board of Finance meeting on Thursday. I sent them a message today because Orla wasn't hearing back from them, and they quickly responded that yes, they will be there. I sent them the Zoom link. So
Okay.
they will be at the Board of Finance meeting on Thursday.
Okay.
So. All right. So agenda item 8, 1395 Riverside Drive discussion and possible action. The proposed invitation to bid that I sent you was from weeks ago, so don't mind the dates, etc. on it. It was just a draft, a quick draft that Ken Slater had done for me. So that is open for discussion. I lean strongly towards putting this out to bid with the suggestion of market rate price with a minimum bid. Just because I think the market is right for it. I think people are coming into Thompson and building houses like crazy. I think it would be a good time to sell and invest the money properly when the town is struggling and the our cash reserves are relatively low. And since I think the market is high, I think it would probably be a good time to generate some good bids. So I'll open it up for discussion.
Ken, anything?
I'm still not in favor of putting it out at this time because of the potential for the mill rehabilitation, what's going on at 1405. I think that piece of property is valuable in that area, for the redevelopment of that whole corridor. So I would not be in favor of selling it at this time.
So as you know, I've given it a lot of, well, I will say I've given it a lot of thought, and I've looked at the property. I've met, talked with the owners of the mill to see they're not interested in purchasing it. They're not interested in owning it, I guess. And at this point in time, I have to agree with Amy, but my thought is that someone may come along and want to purchase it and enhance what the mill is doing with whatever they do with it. It may be in addition to something it's totally separate, but it may add to the progress that they're making. And I have to agree that putting it out there, maybe we get no offers at all, maybe nobody's interested. But I think it would help with the, you know, the town has a lot of property out there that is not valuable, and I think this piece is valuable. So I would have to agree with Amy on this one.
So that being said, at this time, I'll make a motion that we go to bid to sell the 1395 Riverside Drive, North Grosvenor property.
And I will second it, Amy.
Any further discussion on this matter? Okay, all in favor of this motion to go to bid on the 1395 Riverside Drive, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No. Opposed.
Okay, so 2 ayes and 1 opposed. And the motion passes. Okay, moving on to other business. Suzanne, would you like to make that motion?
Oh, yes, I would like to make the
ACM.
motion that we, how do you word this? Hire the,
The highest Janice Smith at ZAC.
Janice Smith, I'm sorry, I couldn't think of her name, for the position of ACO of the town of Thompson.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to officially hire Janice Smith as our animal control officer in the reopening of our animal kennel. Any further discussion? All in favor of hiring Janice Smith, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion passes. Okay, at this time, I'll open up the floor to further citizen comments. Any citizen comments? Okay. Okay, I have, this is from Steve, 00, let's see, it's Stephen Herbert, 122 Wilsonville Road, North Grosvenor, Connecticut. I would like to suggest that the evaluation of any proposals for auditor consider more than just price. This is an important function for our town, and I would suggest a broad consideration of multiple factors, including but not limited to the cost. And again, that was Stephen Herbert, 122 Wilsonville Road, North Grosvenor. I now know that you can get no bids. As you mentioned, CCM would be a good place to get possible auditors. Okay. Thank you, Steve. Any other citizen comments at this time? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, I will move on to agenda item 11, which is tax refunds. And I will make a motion that we refund David J. Carlson Jr. $1,144.97. Donald H. Johnson, $43.06, and Teresa Poirier, $35.18 for a grand total of tax refunds of $1,223.21. Make that motion.
Second.
Ken can have it.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Motion for me, second by Ken.
As long as we refund the money, I'm happy.
Any discussion? No further discussion. All in favor of approving these tax refunds, say aye.
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 Aye. And that motion passes. Okay. Okay, at this time, I make a motion that we enter into executive session, just the 3 selectmen, to discuss a personnel matter.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we've entered into executive session at 7:34 p.m. Dottie, I will send you a message tomorrow and let you know what time we came out of executive session, if there was any action taken. Oops. Okay, she'll put the thumbs up. All right, and at this time, I'm also going to stop the recording